Okay, hoping that this is working. Fingers crossed. You're alive, apparently. Don't quite know why it's orange. Okay. It's definitely public. Oh, this is irritating me. Yeah, it's available everywhere. We'll get messages. Oh, I hate you, stream. Why you do this? Apparently, it's not showing anything now. Why is it showing live stream offline? Very confused. Very, very confused. Hi, Alicia. See, I'm glad you're here. Like, there were loads of people before though, so I'm really confused. But hey, I think I've taken her in anyway. I don't know. I don't know. I'm very confused. It's fine. Because it was like Reagan and different people in before, and I'm like, they've all kind of disappeared. But I've been on and off that many times, who knows? Right, where did my needle go? So I've taken it in, hopefully enough. And I cut a good inch or so off this flat bit. And I need to like fasten it back together essentially. I get the notification once, just check it off and see if it's starting to work. Thank you for persevering. I'm sorry it's a pain. It's just streaming software hates me. We'll get there eventually with it. Just frustrating. Maybe Reagan didn't get notified. Maybe not. Like, it's gone on and off so many times that I wouldn't blame people for not persevering. Thank you for persevering. Yeah, this is what we have to deal with every week. So it's annoying. Never mind. Right, let's try and get this sewn back up, and then hopefully it should fit a bit better, and I won't be flashing my bra around, which is basically what was happening last time. No worries. Oh, okay. People are saying it's still not working, but honestly, I can't really fix it. Sorry. It's not really a huge amount I can do. But keep restarting and restarting, which is kind of making it worse. So, apologies. It's getting annoying because it's just doesn't want to play. I'm just gonna try another post. There you go. Cool. Thanks. Hey, Reagan. Sorry, I know my stream hates me today, so I was just about to try and post something on everything going, still here. Just doesn't like me. I thought it would be easier because it's just me today, but no, still hates me. Everyone's saying hello to each other. Luke was saying that at Rycon yesterday, apparently people were still going, is there still going to be a stream today? I'm like, that's so cute. I love it when we meet folk at like different cons and stuff who we've been chatting to on stream for ages, because I always know who everybody is because I'm like the person that's always streaming. But we met a real cutie at Insomnia, who was just like so overwhelmed. And it was really cute. I was like, oh, it's okay. They're just nerds on the internet. It's all good. We like all being nerds together. My phone still's going off. It might be the con Wi-Fi. Okay, well, might well be that. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm not normally as bad at looking at all this. Beth and sending me pictures. The usual then. So yeah, next con I think for us is going to be SunnyCon. There is Play Expo today, but I had a fence to paint, so Play Expo is one of those where it's a bit difficult for me to get to as well. It's in Manchester, but it's in like the butt end of Manchester, so it's a little bit of a pain. Like I said, Manchester is a good hour away, so unless it's like a con that I really want to go to, which tends to just be MCM these days. Or sometimes I'll go Doki Doki's a small sort of good one in Manchester. But I haven't really done Play Expo in quite a while. I'm not really a gamer, which is always funny when we go to Insomnia. But like my fella is, so quite often we'll end up going to Play Expo like if he fancies doing it, but we had a fence to paint, so we didn't. If he decided he wanted to go, I would have gone and I would have put a costume on of some description. Don't know what I would have worn, but something I'm sure. I love Bethan, she's so funny. She is the best. Bethan is the best. She is part of our Cole family. Because that's the nice thing as well about SunnyCon is that there are so many of our friends now that are going to SunnyCon every year, along with us. So it means that we get to see folks that we don't normally see, which is really nice. So again, we'll have folk that we haven't seen for ages. At least I don't know anything about games. Like, I've played a few bits and bobs, but not a gamer. It's not my scene, really. It doesn't really interest me. So, cool for people that do. And again, it depends on the game. Like, if it's Dragon Age, I'm all over it. Anything else, I'm not really. Alan Boothby. Hello, Alan. Welcome to the stream. I'm trying to fix my life because Yasha's top is too big. And now I've just realised as well that the little plaque down the front is like loose as well, so I'm going to sew that back on when I'm sewing stuff. Alicia's saying I play Minecraft and idle games. Sounds like a good plan. That's the extent of my knowledge. Yeah, pretty much. Like, I'll play like your old school RPG type games. Like I used to play like sort of point and click adventure type ones. Like Broken Sword or Monkey Island kind of thing. And like anything that's got kind of a decent storyline to it, but I don't have to do too much fighting in it, is kind of where I'm at, really. Because my reactions are not great, but I enjoy like puzzle games and stuff. So I'm a bit of a grandma when it comes to that kind of thing. Like to the point where I think we were at Rapture, possibly. Yeah, Rapture, I think, in Newcastle last year. And literally, the guys came running over to me. I was at the table, and they came running over to me going, "Mel, you're going to like this game because it's very much like Broken Sword." And I went and played it, and I was like, "It's actually really good." It's one of the indie games that was there. But I really enjoyed that, so I was like, "Yay!" So I ended up buying it on Steam. So like, I'll play some games, I'm just not a massive gamer. If you play mobile games, I highly recommend Lineage 2 Revolution. Don't really play mobile games, to be honest. I mean, I've got quite a long commute, but I end up taking a book with me because I'm really sad. Because I'm usually stuck in the bus for a good while. Regan's saying, there is one game I like to play, but I don't have no consoles or any knowledge of games or anything. Okay, what game is it you like playing? So I started playing Dragon Age, basically because Luke and Alison were like, you should play Dragon Age because you would really like Cassandra. And I do really like Cassandra. I ended up starting to play it, thinking, I'll play a little bit of it so I know enough about the character. But I ended up putting like 100 hours into it because it was actually a really good game. And because if you play it on, like, it has a setting where you can play it on the easier setting, so you don't have to like fight stupidly hard monsters, but the fella already owned it, so that's kind of the reason why I played it. It was already in the house anyway, and I might as well. And like I said, I've got like a couple of bits and bobs on Steam and stuff, but to be honest, it's just not really the way I like to. Like, I used to play World of Warcraft back in the day, and it's one of those though where if I get really into a game or a book or something like that, then I'm going to be into that for a while, and not really want to do other things. So I'm a little bit like reluctant to get so invested into something, because then things like your normal boring housework and things don't get done. So I love to play story-based games and such. For example, people recommend games such as Detroit Become Human for me, at least. Yeah, that makes sense. Because what was it I watched? I actually like watching Let's Plays as well. I watched somebody doing a Let's Play of Life is Strange, and I'd heard it was very story-based. And I was like, the guy that was playing it actually was very much like kind of playing it the same way I would. It's a guy called Marshall Dyer, and Debbie recommended his Let's Plays to me because I quite like having something on in the background while I'm, sewing or while I'm doing something. I quite like having something on the background, and having a Let's Play on kind of works for me. So I ended up watching him playing Life is Strange, and oh my god, it was so good. But he also kind of makes like similar choices to what I think I'd probably make in those games. So it made it quite good actually. But yeah, if I hadn't already kind of watched the Let's Play of it, I probably would have played Life is Strange. But because he was kind of making the same decisions as I would anyway, I was like, well, I'll just watch this, it's easier. But I think that's why I don't really game a huge amount. It's because I'm usually sewing or doing something else, and like just kind of tend to want something in the background. Whereas obviously a game is very active, and very much like you are playing the game. Yeah, Life is Strange has been recommended as a game you've been interested in. Yeah, like I said, it is good. But I'm also all about like if you don't want to play it yourself or you don't think you have the reactions for something, like Let's Play is perfectly valid. I think that Debbie recommended it to me because she knows what kind of games I like. But she'd recommended the channel as just something just chill to watch. It's why I've got so into Critical Role, is because I can just have it on in the background while I'm crafting or while I'm doing something else. I just have it as like a background thing, and can be paying full attention to it while I'm sewing, because it's not really super visual. So it's pretty good. Alicia's saying, I mean, like Markiplier, Danganronpa Let's Play. Yeah, that's fair enough. I know Debbie likes Markiplier. Like I've watched a couple of bits and bobs. But I end up like watching something for ages. Like I'll end up like binging a series on Netflix, or I'll end up like watching loads of Critical Role or something because I'll get caught up with stuff. It's because I'll be doing something else at the same time. So I'll be sewing or doing puzzles or something else, and just kind of be background noise. So like last weekend, literally, I caught up pretty much on Critical Role. So I watched probably about 3 episodes, which, considering they're about 4 hours long each, and I was doing other things as well. It's pretty good. And then like I've just been watching more Chilling Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix today. So I've been kind of doing bits and bobs. It's where I tend to go to is more TV series or Critical Role, because it's good. Don't think I've watched that Let's Play of his, but I've watched others. Also, I've watched pretty much every Pokemon Let's Play that exists. Fair enough. Are you looking forward to the new Pokemon thing that's coming out? One of my colleagues at work is really looking forward to it, and there was a stand at Insomnia with the Detective Pikachu, and I meant to go get a picture with Detective Pikachu all weekend and send it to my colleague at work, but I didn't in the end. I was just like, damn it, I knew there was something I meant to do. That is now reattached. Hair all over it, so that is done. Megan saying, yeah, I'll either watch something or listen to something whilst doing other things. Yeah. Alicia's very excited. Are you excited about what? About Sunnyfall? Oh, Pikachu. That's why. We'll talk about Pikachu. Checking my stitching. It's not the best, but it's fine. Hopefully it'll fit you more now. In theory. Regan's saying, for example, I was literally listening to the audiobook of Philosopher's Stone the other day while I was writing. Yep, sounds about right. And Alicia's saying this reminded me I was supposed to be trying to get through some more of the Adventure Zone. You and me both, buddy. I listened to all of Adventure Zone Balance. Really enjoyed that arc. Tried to get into Amnesty, like the new arc that they're doing. Not really into it. Debbie and Sarah, but I enjoy like the previous arc too much. I think it's just different, and it's not as high fantasy as the other one, so it's more kind of modern day setting. So I think that's why I'm a little bit less like I'm more into like Critical Role at the moment because it's still high fantasy type. I need to weather things. I don't really know how to do it right now. Okay. I just grabbed the cloak. Alicia's saying, I love reading, but I can't read the Harry Potter series and I don't know why. Yeah, fair enough. To be honest, the first book I find is really hard to get into because it's very children's book, and it put me off for quite a while because it took me a while to get through to about the middle of the first book. So I was just like, it's just kids' book, it's just kids' book, it's just kids' book, and then suddenly there's some more plot to it. I'm actually rereading Harry Potter at the moment. We're looking to hopefully, fingers crossed, Luke and I are going to crew a LARP for one of our friends, Kelly, and hopefully that should be around about Christmas time. It's a wizarding based LARP, which would be quite fun. So yeah, me kind of rereading Harry Potter is like exciting me about it because there's an NPC that I'm looking to do, and I can't say anything about the NPC, but it'll be my first like LARP rather than con, and the fact that it's wizarding is awesome. Really excited about it. But we've been meaning to like help crew a LARP for a while because our friend Kelly runs LARPs, so just to kind of help her really more than anything. I'm going to take the cloak. I'm going to do some more weathering on it. Now, weathering you can do one of a few different ways. God, it's heavy. But basically, I've kind of cut into the edges a little bit there, but I've not done it properly. And like, what I really need to do is like get sandpaper to it and essentially like get rid of a load of stuff, but I don't have that to hand right now. Regan's saying Harry Potter was the reason I got into all the fantasy and fiction and cosplay stuff. Same. You know, same. That's literally why I'm the same. Alicia's saying the only one I'd be able to read fully is The Cursed Child. I'm going to be honest, I hated that book. Gotta be honest, so did I. I haven't reread Cursed Child. It's very different. And like the theatre production was amazing. Not going to deny that, but that's mostly because it's a theatre production, and I enjoyed the theatre of it. Funny story. We went to go see Cursed Child in London, and we booked the tickets a year in advance. Me, Debbie, Sarah, and Thea. And we went down. We spent a lot of money on hotel, etc., etc. But the trains and stuff for us to get in, I think Debbie and Sarah were slightly later than me and Theo were, and we got in because they got in quite a little bit later. We knew that the theatre wouldn't take your cases because, like, we literally were going to get in and then go to the theatre essentially. But we hadn't planned it super well, so we ended up having to go, like, basically having to hair it across London to try and dump the suitcases, and then try and hair it back to the theatre. So you're trying to go across to, like, we were near Euston, I think, anyway. That's where we were staying. So we ended up having to, like, me and Sarah were like, right, well, we'll take the suitcases. You guys just get to Leicester Square and to the theatre. Like, we'll take the suitcases back and we'll meet you there. And the tube got delayed. So we were stuck on the tube, but it was supposed to be starting. And we missed the start of the first half. So Sarah and I went to a coffee shop in Leicester Square. Well, we went to a bookshop first. Bought Cursed Child. Went to the coffee shop, bought a coffee, and basically sat there for the first half of Cursed Child, reading Cursed Child, so that we would actually be caught up, ready for the interval when we can actually get in. So yeah, I have seen half Cursed Child. Second half, not the first half. So yeah, that was a time. It was a time to be alive. It was not a good time. Spoiler alert. Yeah, it was not a good time. But yeah, essentially, I've seen half of Cursed Child, and it was a really, really, really good theatre production. But I'm not a fan of the book. I want to make this really raggedy. I'm gonna try and tear it. There we go. That's one. Regan's saying I wanted to watch it, but I haven't seen it. But I have read the book. Yeah, like I said, I'm not a massive fan. I enjoyed the theatre production, like the bit that I did actually see though. This is Yasha's cloak. Yasha's cloak I wanted really raggedy at the ends, but I haven't really properly done it because I was really rushed when I was trying to make this. So I'm kind of going as we go. It did bring back some of the characters I like, though, I will say that. Yeah, it had some of the good characters. It's just a bit, I don't know. I don't honestly remember a huge amount of it because I've not read it for ages. But yeah, this is me kind of starting to weather a bit more because this is how I wanted it originally. I wanted it quite raggedy. Quite cathartic ripping things. Kind of like just ripping the top layer of it. I've got a few layers. Trying to rip it without like screwing up all of the layers. Too much. Just remembered you had a question. What was your question, Alicia? Well, I'm ripping things. It's good fun. I really hope this doesn't look crap at the end. You know, you're like, let's hope. I need to make a tail, and it's like extremely, extremely thin. I don't have a clue what to make, and I was wondering if you had any tips. I actually do, because Luke made a tail. Basically, Luke made a tail for Molly, where it's real thin. Let me see if I can see something that's like as thin as it. Like it's thinner than the ruler, essentially. So it's a real thin. You can actually get a foam dowel from Polyprops, who are foam, like sort of cosplay foam, and they do Warlord and stuff as well. But Polyprops do a foam dowel, and essentially the dowel itself, all Luke had to do was just shape one end of it to make it like a spade shape, because that's what he wanted for Molly. And he got the tip from somebody else that was also doing a tail for Jester. So tieflings have tails. But yes, check out Polyprops foam dowels, because they're really easy as well, because they're so light. It means that you can like put it on like a piece of invisible string, and sort of like have it tied to your wrist, which is what our friend Abby had for her Jester. Or you can just literally attach it to like a little harness and put it onto your belt, which is what Luke has for Molly. So, funny story, which you're going to see in Insomnia vlog. When we were at Insomnia, Luke had made some leather trousers from scratch. They are amazing leather trousers. But basically, he forgot about his tail. So he'd already sewed up all the leather trousers and stuff, but it was slightly too big, because he put a seam allowance in, and you don't really need a seam allowance for leather. So it ended up with him putting the harness on, and then me basically cutting around the harness a little bit, and then kind of like basically sewing up along the harness. So yeah. There is vlog footage of this, because Debbie and Sarah walked in on us, just me just casually sewing up, around the tail. It's all good. I didn't stab him, it's fine. So yeah. But yes, try a foam dowel from Polyprops. They are pretty good, and again, that's how Luke made his, because he made his originally, I think, from latex, and it didn't feel good, and he basically threw it in the bin at the end of MCM Birmingham. So there's that. So he was like looking for a way of doing a different way, and our friend Abby, who does an amazing Jester, gave him the tip. So always getting good tip. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's better. So just a bit more raggedy, which is kind of what I wanted. Might actually make these bottom ones slightly more, actually, because I quite like the raggedy look. What I'm trying to do though is not show the lining, because I've got a lining in there as well, just like a free floating lining. So I'm trying not to show the lining, which is why I didn't rip the bottom layer too much. Might have to just rip the whole lot. Yay. My first try was wire with a tube of fabric around it. I think that's what he did, and then put latex over the top to make it feel more like skin. That's also how I've done it in the past. Like, I'm just thinking of like, you know, like you cheap like costume shop type tails for cats and things. I've done it that way before. For sure. Right, so if I take this up a little bit, so that's quite a big rip. I might also be lining. It's going to be interesting. Oh god, I'm doing it now. We're getting ripped. Going in, guys. It's happening. The lining's also getting ripped. Commit. Always commit. It's a fun fact. I'm allergic to wool. You know what this costume is mostly made of? Wool. So I just put a lining in the whole of it. So the top's lined and the cloak's lined. Because I really rather not have allergic reactions. But it's like a wool mix fabric. It's not pure wool. But it's also, it looks the best for like, you know, if you want something that's quite accurate to say, or to D&D type stuff anyway. So like medieval type stuff. Like linen or wool, because that's what they would have had in medieval times. It sounds smart. Yeah, it sounds smart. My stitching is awful. So, like, it sounds smart, but the fact that I'm ripping it apart now is just kind of being like, well, my stitching's terrible anyway. It's just, I know the lining likes to fray. So I was trying not to rip the lining too much, but never mind. Done now. It's done a commit. Like, I think it'll look better in the end, so I'm kind of like going with it. I mean, if it doesn't, it's gonna look terrible anyway. Welcome to my character decisions, where they just get made on the fly. Still got some more to go. This helps if you cut past the section that you've sewed down to stop it fraying. It's incredibly satisfying. You've made something and then you're just like, I'm just going to tear it apart. Unless it looks crap and then it won't be satisfying anymore. It's very scary. Okay. So obviously I've still got it attached like at the edges properly. Because that would be a bit silly not to do that. This also means I'm going to have to do the same to that top that I just sewing down. Hope you all know this. It's my life now, apparently. Right, so, moment of truth. Oh, okay, that's alright. We like that. There's a lot of fabric on this. So yeah, we've got a lot of fabric going on. Okay, I'm happy with that. I didn't have a chance to do that properly, like for Sunday. She was very quickly made. But also very heavy. There's a lot of fabric in that cloak. And that reminds me of the skirt from last week was unfixable. Not even the extra trim. Oh no. Oh no. I'm sorry. I hate when that happens. It's literally the worst. That's why I was a bit scared to do that. Because if it doesn't work, it's like, oh, I'm kind of in trouble now. So you know how that's got a lovely hem like that? See my real pretty hem right here? My real pretty hem. Do you know what we're going to do to it? Oh, I don't want to do it to this one though. It looks so warm. It is really warm. I wore it for insomnia when it was 24 degrees outside. To be honest, Yasha's stuff, honestly, because she's got the top, which is like a strapless top, so it's literally just that's holding it up, and it just sits. That's why it's slightly too big. Hi Meow. Hi. Hi. You come up. You come up and say hi. You're gonna be there shouting at me. Say hello, Al. Ooh, you're a good boy. You don't want to stay, do you? You don't know. Wow. Wow. You're supposed to say hi, Alfie. It's just goodness. Yeah, she is really warm, but I can actually take off the cloak, so it's actually okay. Because this is honestly not that warm. It's only one layer, whereas that's 2 layers of wool and the lining as well. I really don't want to cut this up, guys. I'm gonna have to. Oh. Best bander. He is the best bander. Okay, doing it. Now we're going back now. The same kind of fabric, so like it's a wool mix of some description. It's going to be a similar kind of feel. That was the best. Yeah, he is the best bander. He's just very brief. He just wants his food right now. He's like, nope, food. You're being the worst. You're not giving me food. Oh, it was right at the seam. It's not an important seam, is it? No, it's just a bottom seam. Okay. Oh boy. Hope you all know just how scary this actually is. Like, when you kind of hope that it's going to look good, but you're really not sure. I've got some songs stuck in my head because I was painting and stuff outside. I just had my headphones in, and now I've just got like 1,000 different songs stuck in my head. What's a bad idea? Ripping all this stuff apart. It's a bit late now. Like, once you've done one, it's not as bad because you're just like, well, what's the worst that's going to happen? I'm going to have to remake the whole thing. Like, she's a barbarian. She wouldn't have really neat clothes. Oh no. I mean, it's a bit late now. Sometimes you just have to go, do you know what? I'm going to cut into this. I have to ruin it. Thing is as well, I wear this over leggings, so I know that even though I'm ripping this, and like obviously the wool will be exposed, it's not going to be right next to my skin. Whereas right at the top is where it needs to be right, like it needs to be properly lined. So I'm only ripping like the bottom bit for that reason. Okay, well we're all the way round. So yeah, I'm alright with that. It will need like more weathering as well, so it'll need things like some like dark paint or some leather dye or something maybe, like kind of just on it as well because it's too clean. Or I need to go roll around the garden, one or the other. We coined the term at Insomnia with our friend Katie of surprise weathering, where when you haven't weathered your costume and then suddenly on the way to the con you get surprise weathering and you get pushed downhill. Didn't happen. But I was like, I haven't weathered the usher properly yet. I don't want surprise weathering, thanks. So yeah, it's one of the scariest parts of the costume, but if you're doing something like a character who is going to be a little bit dirty, a little bit like not perfect, you kind of need to do it, and it's a bit scary. But Yasha is definitely like, I mean, her wig, the amount of stuff that I've just put in that wig, she wouldn't have neat clothes. Like, there's just no way she'd have neat clothes. Because her hair is just a bird's nest. It's got beads, it's got like so much back combing, it's just crazy. So with that wig, it's like I've got to kind of weather the costume as well. And while I'll do like the top, and I'll make sure the top's all nice and neat and lined and everything, because that's the bit that's going to be touching my skin. That's the bit that I can't get away with not lining. The cloak is literally like at the top of my legs, so again I've got leggings on, so it's not touching my skin, and the same with this one. So it's not. And what I'll probably do as well is like I'll get like some dark, like either paint or dye or something, and like sort of go around the edges of that, just kind of dirty up a bit. Cassandra was an interesting one. She was awful to make, but I had great fun weathering her because I just took sandpaper to it as well, which is another technique you can do. So I'll probably get some sandpaper and like do that on it as well. But again, it's all different things you can do. If I get the meow right behind me, just because I can see it within my view. There's a spider on it apparently. Oh well. It's been sitting up on the side of my thing. So Cassandra's chest plate, it needs remaking. If you look at like how I've kind of put dirt and stuff in it, like it's just doesn't fit very well. We're a pain to get on and off. So I need to remake it because it's my first Warbler project. So it just lives up in the corner of my cosplay room. Well, with the lap sword to go with it. And the shield. I just need to remake that at some point. Don't put. Regan saying it seems to look good as far as I can tell. Oh, thank you. Like, it's started weathering, it's not finished weathering, let's put it that way. But like, she also has like really smeared makeup, and she's just not a very well put together character, so she needs to be more dirty. She's too clean. The stuff is too perfect right now. But with the cloak, what I might do is get some brown, because obviously it's a black cloak. So if I put black on it, it's not going to show up. So I might put some brown on it and like mud here up. I mean, you can literally go and roll around the garden, which also works. But I like to be able to at least like, because less so with the cloak, but at least with like the top, because it's going right next to my skin, it is washable. So I can just literally hand wash that. So paint will stay better, because obviously if you're going to wash mud out, it'll just come out like a washing machine will do. Hi, Alfie. Whereas paint will stay for a little bit longer. So if I can find some paint, I don't think I have any up here. I think it's all downstairs. Paint. As well as my sandpaper. I have a conservatory downstairs that's got loads of cosplay bits in it. And I think it's all on there, sadly. I think there's anything else I can do. I think there is. What are you doing? You want food, don't you? You want food. Is that why you're here? You're here to say hello to the stream. You're here just to try and get food from me. Come here. Whoa, best bander. Best bander. That's what you are. You're the best bander. What a monster. I know what else I could do. I could work on bag, because I can't really do much more in Yasha right now. So, but she's fixed up hopefully. She should be good to go for next time. Do a bit more weather on her. Okay. My dogs are the same when it comes to food. My tortoise not so much. Yeah, I can't imagine tortoises being super like into all their food. Alfie is like a dog. He just always wants food. So that's what I'm I am gonna do a little bit of lining I'm basically gonna do this big old dice bag here. One I actually took to Insomnia, but just didn't actually get a chance to finish off. And I put a lining in already. And then what I want to do is basically do a little edging around it. So I'm just gonna like pin it in essentially and sew around that. Just take a little while. And it's a bit fiddly though to pin in. So bear with. It also makes it really hard for me to see the screen. Right, let's try and get nothing with my pins. That always helps. Made me laugh when went up to Luke's just before Insomnia, and he made me my Vex shirt, which was really pretty. But basically, he made it like he doesn't pin anything, and I'm just like the queen of pinning everything because I like to be able to know that it's going to fit once it's on. If that makes sense. Or that it's going to stay in the same place so I can sew it. Like for me, it makes it easier. He just doesn't. He just goes for it, and I'm like, wow, okay. So like for me, I'm like pinning this in place, making sure it's in the right spot. Like it's pretty much just so it doesn't move. I might not do pins super close together, but I know like roughly where they're at. Yeah, it made me laugh how very different Luke and I are when it comes to sewing. I think I found something actually that like literally I started making but never actually finished it. And I had a load of pins in it and I was like, I need to finish this so I can get the pins back. I'm cleaning my pins. But yeah, I enjoy making these little dice bags and things because they're quite fun to make. So I made a couple for like me basically, and then was like, I could make a few more of these because I can kind of sit and like if we've got a table at a carton as well, I can sit and like work on them because it's all hand sewing. It's literally hand sewing and pins, so I don't need a sewing machine. In fact, it's better to be hand sewn because you're literally sewing on trim, so it's really hard to do that on a machine. Like you can, but like I could have machined Yasha's bit really easily, but setting up the machine just for that little bit of sewing is really worth it, in my opinion. I do need to do more like actual pouches rather than dice bags because the pouches I have to do in the machine, so they are a little bit more effort. I have a wee stock of these, but I actually need a dice bag myself because I've got a couple of sets of dice now, so I actually do with a new one myself. And I started making pouches because I realised being in all these medieval type cosplays and things, I was like, I've got no pockets for putting my phone in at a con or putting my wallet in at a con. And kind of like having pockets or something to put it in. So, quite useful. Okie dokie. So that is all the way around. Pinned roughly in place. That's awesome. Like, I end up not really doing anything for Halloween. I think because I do cosplay so much. I have one of those things where it's just like you're a cosplayer, but you have like a wardrobe full of cosplays and you have nothing to wear. Mainly because I'm like, if I was going out at Halloween, for example, and like people were drinking and stuff, I'm like, don't really want to wear one of my expensive cosplays that's cost me a lot of money and time and have somebody spill drink all down it. Someone will be like, Because like SunnyCon, technically the after parties are you can go and cosplay. Usually by the end of a full day of wearing a costume, I'm not up for doing the full cosplay anyway. But last year we did it where we did like party versions of our Adventure Zone characters. And I just bought like some awful Hawaiian shorts from Primark, an awful Hawaiian shirt from Primark, and just did I just tied my hair up, so I didn't have a wig on or anything. Just tied my hair up, and painted a glitter beard on, and went as like Party Merle, and it was amazing because we had all the guys are in party versions. So we had Bethan as Taco, and then we had Alison as Magnus. But again, she did like Magnus with like a little crop top thing on, and little like booty shorts. So it's like not really the cosplay, but it's party versions. And we had a really good time in our party version because it's all stuff that like we wouldn't spend a lot of money on or anything like that because it's just gonna get warm to go out in. But no, it was really fun actually. And I think this year, Luke and I might do Critical Role. We've kind of got like a kind of casual like Vax and Vex, I think possibly. So, but again, that would involve a wig, which I'm not great with wearing like after hours type thing. But I might just buy a really cheap black wig that I can just throw in the bin. Go for a £5 eBay job, you know. Because the actual wig that I have for Vex is Coscraft, so it's nice enough. You know, it's not a lace front because I don't need a lace front for her. But it's a really nice wig. It's nice and long and it's pretty, and I wouldn't want it to get wrecked with like partying and eventually taking it off because I will because I'll get too hot. Because if I go to a party and I want to dance, I'm going to dance, and I'll get really hot if I've got a wig on. I've done it in the past. Bad idea. I wore Sirius to the party. It's not a good time. I'll also be very blind as well because if I don't wear my glasses, then I'll just be blind because I won't put my contacts in for that long. I'll have the contacts in all day. So there's that. Could be interesting. Regan's saying, yeah, we just had a small get together last year, so not a lot happened to my Victor costume. That makes sense. Like if you're having like a little house party yourself anyway, then that makes a lot of sense. Alison's bow. Yeah, Alison's butt bow. Yeah, that was a good time. The funniest part was that she still had sideburns on, and so this guy that just came up to her, this random guy, obviously seeing her from behind with like a little booty shorts and stuff on, and then she turns around and she's got a big sideburns. The best reaction. Oh, cosplay. I was the same though. I was just literally in shirt and shorts, and then I borrowed my fella's Jesus creepy sandals, and yeah, I was super and I had golf socks on as well that were like again absolutely lurid. So I was wearing the most awful combination of clothes to the point where I think if you remember rightly, somebody in the hotel corridor like looked at me and was just like. That was before I had the glitter beard on, so yay. But yeah, it was honestly such a good time, just like doing a casual costume. But no, like if you got like a house party, then that makes sense because we've all done like our own costumes and stuff to each other's houses and stuff like that. Because obviously we're not going to go mad. It's just like going out and dancing, I think, which would be like the one where I'd be like, don't wear an expensive costume. For anything like me, I'll just yeet you in the corner and not care about it. So, Regan sounds fabulous. It was fabulous. It was a good time. But yeah, I think we'll just get cheap wigs and do back some. because we had a good idea for casual cosplay for it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens by the time SunnyCon comes around. We also had a good idea for like pajama cosplays as well, which could be really comfy. So that could be another option. Because hell, being comfy in costume. What's this? I need to get some brown thread. I think I've got some over here. Brown, where are you, brown? There you are, brown. Put the other two colours away. Oh. But yeah, doing like casual cosplay stuff is fun. Yeah, I definitely suffer from that. I've got too many things to wear. Because for insomnia, I had a really bad time like trying to pick what I was going to wear. Because sadly, I've put weight on, so I can't fit in a lot of my costumes. Obviously, depending on the costume, but it's a little bit awkward in that I've got a lot of costumes in there, but I can't wear a lot of them. So it's fine. Like, I ended up wearing Vex for 2 days because she is super comfy. I was like, do you know what? I could just be comfy. Like, she's got a corset, but it's, for me, it's like I can wear a corset far easier than I can wear a binder. So, like, because as well it's a plastic bone corset, I don't really wear it so tight. So, it's easier for me. A lot of people go, oh, you're in a corset all day. And I'm like, yeah, but I can loosen it off or tighten it up as much as I like. A binder, I'm in a binder all day. I'm the world's laziest person when it comes to a binder, so I'm like, the only ones I really bind for these days are the ones that I don't have layers for. So, like Sirius, for example, is probably someone I'd still bind for because he only has like the shirt generally. I generally don't wear my robes for Sirius at all. And actually, when it comes to SunnyCon panels, I end up lending them to somebody else usually. Usually either the robes or the tie, or both. Because Sirius doesn't care about that. Sirius is like, hey, whatevs. Of course, it really helps when your thread doesn't just decide to invert itself. Come on. There we go. I'm so excited. It's a Sunday and I'm off work tomorrow. The day off. Like, it's really unusual for me to be at home for a bank holiday weekend as well, because normally we're at a con. So the fact that I'm at home and just able to just enjoy 3 days off, really nice. I don't really get to do that very often. Like, quite often, on like bank holiday weekends, I've had like big cosplay projects to do and stuff as well. Because it's quite a good time to kind of do it. I made my Mystique flight suit in a 3-day weekend, for example. Just Debbie and I over Skype screaming at each other. We hated our lives that weekend, but we got it done in a 3-day weekend, so. I'm definitely becoming like your typical house owner though, because I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just paint the fence this weekend. So it's one of those where it was like, well, I can't go to the con, therefore I might as well do something useful. I'll do that on stream. I've seen pajamas that I've just been like, it would be perfect for a character I'd love to do. Is similar to an outfit they wear in one of the movies. Yeah, that sounds good. Like, what is it? Is it May from Overwatch? I've seen a lot of people do like sort of very casual cosplay. And I'm like, oh boy, that would be like the dream. Run around in pajamas all day. I'm like, yes, that would be amazing. We were looking at doing some of the Critical Role guys in pajamas. Partly because we kind of spotted like a onesie that'd be perfect. But then I personally hate onesies, so I wouldn't necessarily wear a onesie myself. I'd probably get pajamas instead. I just find them far too hot. I get far too warm in them. Casually Quirky, welcome to my little baby stream today. It's just me, just little old me. Alicia's saying I should be revising, but I need a break. Yeah, do need a break. What are you revising for? You got a test. I was like, these pajamas would be perfect for Percy from the beginning of Chamber of Secrets. Ah, I see. That would be good. It'd be so comfy though. Pajama cosplay. It's the way forward. Because again, we've done it before for we did it for Marvel guys back in the day. We did sort of pajama versions. So we're just like, we can be comfy. What's this? Comfy in a costume? Never. Yeah, sometimes, especially for like the last day or the next to last day of the con, it's good to be comfy. Just honestly, there's nothing better. Like I was in Vex for Sunday and Monday of insomnia, and I hadn't really slept very well, and I was very much like perishing slowly. But because I was in Vex, I was so comfy. I was just like, oh, this is so good. Kushasha, well, I love her. She is great. And she wasn't as uncomfortable as I expected because I could take the cloak off because we had the table, so I could just like put the cloak down and not wear it for a bit. And I always take like breaks because that's sensible. But basically, Vex, it was just like, oh my god, this is so comfy because Yasha, I've got to wear the big boots with her. So she's got big boots and fur on top as well. And she's got like so much layers to her that the big boots got massive heels on as well, which doesn't really help because I'm not great in heels. So it's a nice relief to have Vex, who's in flat boots and it's just comfy. She's just essentially clothes, really. A big old cloak. Casually Quirky, how are you today? What are you working on? I was working on and I'm just sewing around it basically. So nice and simple, just a simple little sewing job. I could go and weather Yasha, but that would involve me having to take it outside probably. Because I need to get some paint on it and give it a little weather up. But yeah, it's bank holiday weekend, so I get 3 days off working on row, which is nice. And I'm not at a con, so basically doing things like all the washing in the world. And I have placed a paint in my fence in my garden, as you do. So if you see little bits, I think there's still a bit of paint on my elbow, possibly. There was earlier anyway. I did shower. I just apparently missed my elbow part. But yeah, I'm doing things like that. Alicia, I'm revising for GCSEs. Yeah, I remembered you were young. I was like, Alicia probably hasn't been to the after party because she's probably a little bit too young for them. But yes, good luck with your GCSEs. What's it? It's May now, isn't it? So do you have them in like June time? I want to say. It's been a very long time since I did my GCSEs. But hopefully you will do okay and you will pass them all and do good because that's what summer's for. Do you have them going on over? Because obviously you said you've got prom as well, haven't you? So do you have? Are they over and done with by SunnyCon? I'm going to presume. Regan's saying, I feel bad for you, Alicia. Did my GCSEs a few years ago, but I'm still retaking my maths. Oh, maths is evil. Maths is the one thing I'm expecting good results from. Oh, that's good. Regan's saying, I'm so bad at English, is always my preferred subject. See, I was a weirdo in that I have like a bit of a photographic memory. So like exams, GCSEs especially, like were relatively okay for me. I revised a lot, but I also got good marks and stuff that I wasn't expecting to. So like I've never been great at maths, but I could like get through enough to like get a decent mark in it. But like again, I was kind of more in the English history, that kind of side of it. Did IT and everything as well, so I was kind of more towards that side. I never did, interestingly, I never did art or drama anywhere past sort of age of 13. So normally because like you have to take it and then you sort of choose what you want to take. So just because I know Casually is not from the UK. Essentially from the secondary school, so from the age of like 11 to 13, you do like a bit of everything. So you do art, drama, maths, English, science, history, you name it, you do it basically. And then from the age of 13 to 16, you then basically get options to choose for what you want to do further. So my options were like history, IT, like very much like humanities subjects, and not any art or drama whatsoever, because I thought I was rubbish at them. And then cue starting cosplay many years after school, and basically relearning like everything, because yeah, it's weird. I think because I was such an awkward, shy being in school, I didn't want to look like a fool. Whereas now I just don't care, and that's the difference. I am very outgoing now, and I am. If anyone's ever met me at a con, they will tell you that I am the extrovert at the con. There's me and Sarah that are the extroverts. Everyone else is kind of a little bit introvert. Whereas, you know, you literally, Luke goes to meet Insomnia, he's like, what's up with you? Because I was like buzzing, I was like, woo! And Luke's only realised, he was like, I've just put you at stake because Question We Played asked us to help out with the panel, which was like an in character type thing where it's like a murder mystery type thing. So it was a silly little panel they were doing. But he sent me towards it, and he's like, I've just put the extra bit on the stage, haven't I? I'm like, yep, you did. So basically, like things like that really excite me now, whereas they never ever used to. I was always like the logical person, the person that would like not think they're any good at that. If that makes sense. And that's why I kind of say to everybody, like, just if somebody's trying cosplay for the first time, for example, like just try it, see how you like it. Because I never would have guessed that I would have enjoyed it as much as I did. If I'd looked at it objectively and gone, "Oh, I enjoy that," because I always thought I was rubbish at art and drama. Many years later, with the right friends, you learn that actually you're alright at that. Alicia's saying I'm so bad at English, and Alicia's saying yes, we finished the week beforehand. Nice. That means you've got time to get your cosplay sorted and your prom dress sorted, all that kind of good stuff. Casually saying I'm so glad I'm homeschooled. I wouldn't survive in public school. Oh, like it's fine. It's just I truly hated high school. Like I was a geek, and it wasn't the greatest of times, but hey, that's what you get when you finish school and you go to college and you meet some really cool people that are just like, hey, you can just be you, it's fine. Awesome. Good to know. Megan's saying, yeah, that's how I picked mine. All English and history and IT in the works. Yep, that's pretty much the way I went down. I was like, can't do art, can't do drama, guess I'm picking the things. Regan's saying I'm terrified of all that kind of stuff, that's why I'm trying all this stuff to hopefully bring me out of shell and stuff. Honestly, it works. Like, I hated the camera. I hated being centre of attention. I hated all of that. I hated talking to new people. Like, anybody that knows me now goes, what the heck? Like, how were you like that before cosplay? And I was like, I was. Like, I literally wouldn't let people take a picture of me. And then it was just like, and now I'm like, photos, darling! And it took me 2 years to get over my stage fright. Like, 2 years. And it still comes back occasionally. But we get up in front of a lot of people sometimes. But I stopped caring as much, like, about what other people thought of me. And was just like, do you know what? I'm a grown adult in a costume! Yay! And I'm gonna go be an idiot. Because it's honestly so much easier when you've got something like that to kind of fall back on. And obviously I've got a very good, nice group of friends around me to help me do that. Which is rather nice. Because Luke helped an awful lot in my stage fright issues. But me and Debbie both really struggled with getting on the stage. Really, really, really struggled with it. You can even see it's in video evidence online. The first Welcome to Nightmare panel that I was in was my first ever in character panel. Actually, no, I tell a lie. There was one before that, but that was not videoed at all. Thank goodness. But that was my first real I'ma bring a character, and you can see how terrified I am for the first 5 minutes of that panel. I can see how terrified I am for the first 5 minutes of that panel. It's partly why my own character for Night Vale, Santiago, is the way he is. Because I found body language a lot easier to portray. Because I'm a weirdo who sits and analyses body language. And I found I wanted to do a creepy character. We basically wanted to do the antithesis to Carlos. So essentially, Carlos is like very, friendly, very clever. He's just like we wanted the antithesis of that. We still wanted a clever character to bounce off Kevin, but we wanted the opposite of Carlos. So we wanted creepy, and we wanted because like this is Luke and I's like headcanon. We wanted creepy. We wanted just kind of a bit murderous. So that's how Santiago was born. But literally, the first 5 minutes of that panel, I was terrified. Didn't want to say anything because I was like, I can't do an accent, and I still struggle a lot with accents. Like, I'm really bad. I'm a Northern English person. That's what I am. So I didn't really want to speak, and I was like, oh God, how do I do this? So I ended up just walking towards Luke, like really menacingly, and it worked. So I was like, hell yes, I can work with that. Character doesn't speak as much because I'm terrified. Okay, I can do that. So yeah, and then I had Sirius, and I'd like done written roleplay with Sirius with Debbie for 3 years at that point, I think. In fact, it was longer than that. We'd done it on and off for a good 10 years at that point. So I knew the character so well that I was on my version of the character anyway. That I was like, okay, I'm just going to be absolutely ridiculously stupid now. Okay, I can do that. So it was really weird, like how it's why I'm always really like just go and do it and have fun with it, because I did, and this is where I've ended up. Sitting on a Sunday afternoon sewing on a YouTube channel, talking to myself. Yay! But honestly, it's given me a lot of confidence outside of cosplay as well. Things like work and stuff as well. I can literally talk to anybody now about anything in the world. Doesn't matter whether it's cosplay related or not. I have no fear now of going and talking to people. Like, I love talking to people now. And I enjoy getting on the stage now, and I enjoy a photo shoot now. I was terrified of all those things. Alicia said I got my dress yesterday and I was so excited. Oh, I want to see the prom dress. Casually saying I used to be super introverted and after cosplay I slowly became an ambivert. Yes, that was me. I used to be super introverted, then I became like extrovert and introvert kind of balanced, and now I'm introvert. 100%. Regan's saying I'm starting to care less about what other people think and I'm learning to be myself. I've been experimenting with styles and figuring everything out, exploring, if you will. That's why I'm committed to trying cosplays. It's something I want to at least try for a while. That's awesome. Like, that's really cool. That's exactly why people should do cosplay. Like, why the hell would you not? You know, it's just fun. It's when I've been at events and people have been like a little bit snooty about it. I've been like, look, you're a grown adult in a costume. But get over yourself. You know? It's why we try and have fun with it. Like, if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. It's one of the things. So, you know, it's just like, just have fun with it. If you're not having fun, don't do it. You know, don't get me wrong. I've had cosplays where I've not had fun as that character. They've just not lasted that long. So literally been like a one-time wear. So I did Sherlock from BBC Sherlock, for example. I wore him once because I realised that I don't really enjoy like the straight man as such. Like, apart from Santiago, I think it's my only one. Like, everyone else tends to be a little bit off the wall. I enjoy those more. Sherlock there's not really much to do apart from be clever. Didn't enjoy him. I didn't enjoy looking behind me on the wall. I didn't actually enjoy wearing Black Widow either. Because it was just far too girly for my taste. I'm not really girly. And while like a little dress in theory would be fine normally, so I think it was a combination of that one time when you wear it and you're not feeling that confident, and you're like, I feel awful in this. So I think I've worn her literally like a couple of times, but I kind of soon stopped wearing her. And now her wig has been repurposed for Caleb, so she's never happening again. But yes, it's you're always going to have times and places where you're not as confident with it. But that's okay. Like, it's fine. It's human. Casually saying that's hella inspirational. Aww, cute. Like, I'm super passionate about, you know, young people trying it because why the hell not? You know, it's just posh fancy dress. It's literally all it is. It's just posh fancy dress. It's like, you know, you think, oh, I'm doing it at Halloween. You just don't do it at other times. You know, that's the difference. You just end up putting it on at other times other than Halloween. I think all of us in Banda at some point like went a bit mad for Halloween. Like before I was even cosplaying and stuff officially. I used to do like, I remember like at uni when all the girls would do like really cute little costumes and stuff, and I'd be like, no, I'm gonna be Wicked Witch of the West. I'm gonna paint myself green, and that was at uni. That was like 10 years before I did cosplay. So I was like, wow, okay. So yeah, I've kind of always had it in me, and like I've done zombie stuff before I did cosplay. I've always gone a bit mad for Halloween. So it's just like having Halloween all year round. It's great. Regan saying, my characters tend to be a mixture of different characters, and I love the characters that have a lot of depth to them. I love working with that. Or characters we don't know a lot about. Like, definitely the same. For example, you mentioned Sherlock, and I've considered cosplaying either Mycroft or the Eye of Lestrade because they're so different. Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Like, It's why we like doing Marauders, because all you know about them really is what Harry knows about them, which isn't a huge amount. And before, weirdly enough, Order of the Phoenix is sat on my desk. Before Order of the Phoenix, there was like so little known about them. And we enjoy just playing in that space because you can you've got a lot more freedom to it than if you were doing, say, like Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Ginny and all them. You've got more freedom to the Marauders because you only know like so little about their actual time at school. That you can kind of just make up a lot more and play with ages and things too, because Lucius Malfoy is not the same age as Snape. Spoiler alert. However, for our panel, he is. You can just have a lot of fun like in that space and with that time period. Looking forward to SluddyCon actually. We should have a new character in the midst, and it should be good fun. I'm so excited. It's fun. I enjoy like your more NPC type characters because you do have a lot more freedom with them, I feel. Like I've done Irene from actually more from the films, actually the Sherlock films, but where she dresses as a guy and is in a little suit. I did like a really casual cosplay of that, like a Manchester meet, and went down really well. Weirdly, it was like, okay, wasn't expecting that, but I literally just made it up on the fly. Luke yesterday for Rycon wasn't sure what to wear. He's just moved house, so he doesn't have a huge amount of access to a load of different costumes either. I decided just to make a Klaus from Umbrella Academy just out of what was in his wardrobe. It worked really well from the pictures I've seen, so I was like, cool. Sometimes the random cosplays you kind of just throw together work quite well, and you have fun in them, which is the most important thing. You can make a closet cosplay from pretty much anything. I did a casual cosplay for Yasha when I first started doing it because I was like, I don't want to invest, because I've had this issue before, where I don't want to invest loads of time and money into a costume and then not really enjoy cosplaying the character. I want to kind of make sure I'm going to enjoy it first. So I just bought a cheap wig, cheapy from eBay, because she just has like the grey ombre. Pick those up anywhere. So I just sort of got a cheap wig and just closeted it because she's a goth. I'm also a bit of a goth. So there's kind of a lot of crossover just from literally my wardrobe. So I had a t-shirt that was very suitable for her, and I had like a pair of like corsety type leggings, and yeah, just cosplayed it for MCM Birmingham for the final day in like November, and like did all the makeup and stuff as well, so like gothy makeup, and really enjoyed doing it. So I was like, no, I want to make it properly. But sometimes you just have to try something out and see if you like it or not. Because I've also made the mistake of I did Legolas from Lord of the Rings for a group that never happened. I spent a lot of time and money on that costume, and I've worn him literally twice. But again, I've had that issue, and I don't really enjoy wearing him as much because he's very put together. He's very much not my usual type of cosplay. I'd have probably been happier probably doing one of the Hobbits, to be honest. Healthy butt. Hello! I see you too. Why are you so loud? Want to move your butt? Thank you. So yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with like doing like a casual cosplay or doing like a side person or something a little bit different. Do what you want to do. Regan saying that's why I think I'd love to cosplay both Percy Weasley and Cedric Diggory from Harry's era. That would be cool. Yeah, because I don't think I've ever seen like a Percy or a Cedric, which is always cool. Like if you see one, you go, at con, it's like, oh my god. Alicia's saying so there's going to be a Marauders panel at SoniCon. Not confirming or denying. But yes, there is. We enjoy bringing our own character stuff to SoniCon. It's a good audience. Casually saying I may end up doing a Welcome to Nightville panel sometime with my Cecil, and hopefully a Carlos and a Kevin, and I'm super excited. Cecil is such a dork and I'm pretty dorky, so it works out. That's awesome! Yes, panels are fun. The only thing I'd say with panels is if you're doing it with people that you know, that's great, because that's kind of what you need, you know, trust. Like we all know that we've got each other's backs for if there's like a weird question getting asked, which has happened. If people are just trying to be memes, which also has happened many times. We've got each other's backs if we're just going to chase each other around the room, for example, me and Luke, panel. We're very much into our physical comedy. It's something to fall back on. It's fun. And then like having people that you know in the audience as well to ask questions is a good thing, because we've had panels where you don't get any questions and it's really, really, really awkward. There's nothing that's on YouTube that hasn't been like, we have done a couple of panels that have literally just been like so few questions, but we just haven't either haven't recorded them, or we've recorded them and decided not to put them up. So make that what you will. We end up that's how actually we got friends with Bethan, was because Bethan was asking good questions in panels, and we were like, we like you, we can steal you. It's how we met quite a lot of the folk that we ended up bringing along to SoniCon, because they've all at some point been to our panels and asked questions, and then we've got chatting to them afterwards or whatever, and found out we really like these people. We keep you now. You know, you will notice that we do tend to adopt folk. Just kind of be like, you come here now, we talked to you for a while. It's all good. Alicia's been to our table at cons. She knows where it's at. We end up, me and Alicia have had some good chats at con. But yeah, panels are fun. Just if you have somebody in the audience that can ask you a couple of questions to get it started, at least that's always a good shout as well. Regan's saying we're also planning to do a Klaus and 5 cosplay from Umbrella Academy at some point too. Awesome! Like I don't even know if we're going to end up doing an Umbrella Academy group. Like I think we've all watched it. I really enjoyed it. But I don't know if I'd cosplay anybody from it. I think Luke just wanted something easy to throw together, which Klaus kind of is, because again he's just like, he's got naturally curly hair, especially at the moment because he's trying to grow it out. And it's like, I've kind of got a bit of a crazy wardrobe anyway. I can probably do this from a wardrobe. A bit like me with the goth wardrobe. It's like, there we go. You know, it's all good. Casually saying, definitely, I know the Carlos, I'm planning on doing it, but I don't know about Kevin yet, but I have a few mutual Kevins. That works. Just get somebody, again, like that you know quite well. Also, like, have a little chat with them if you don't know them so well, or even if you do, like, just before the panel, to be like, look, guys, this is an in-character panel. Like, don't get offended of anything I say in character, because I still love you. Luke and I, before our first Marauders panel, and we've said this many times, we obviously we knew each other enough, but we'd only known each other for like 6 months, maybe at that point, and only seen each other at a couple of cons, so it wasn't like we knew each other very well. We literally just kind of turned to each other and went, no holds barred, awesome. Sarah and Alison met for the first time literally 10 minutes before the first Marauders panel that we did together. and they were just like, so how are we going to play this? And they were both like on the same page of how they're going to play Lucius and Narcissa. It was like, this works. But I have had to have the chat with some folk before where I've been like, look, my character is going to be horrible to your character. Like, it's nothing bad meant, but they're going to be horrible to your character. I mean, we have it now where literally Sirius just gets stomped on by everybody. Apart from like the Gryffindors, but the Slytherins is fair game. We kind of planned it that way a little bit because Snape is like your typical, like, kind of pick on him because he's the pick on him kid. So we kind of need a balance to it because otherwise it would just be pick on Snape panel, which isn't really that funny. It's actually more funny to pick on Sirius because he's got more flaws. He just tries to hide them better. He's a vain little boy, and you insult his looks, and he's not gonna like you very much. Mess up his hair. He's not gonna like it. But I always kind of like playing with like the flaws in a character. So give me a character that's flawed any day. Alicia's saying I never know what to say. Oh, when you see me at a con, just be like, hi, it's Alicia. Like, I know your face now, Alicia. You're in trouble now. Hunter Square Hippie, hello, welcome to the stream. I love the comics. I'm going to presume Umbrella Academy. Luke does as well, actually. I don't even know if he's actually seen the series. I know he hadn't a few months ago. But he loves the comics. So he was like, no, I totally love Klaus. Like, Klaus is my boy. He is a good boy. Hunter saying, I actually started putting number 5 together, but I've been busy making fursuits. That's fair enough. I mean, 5 should be fairly easy to put together, I would imagine. Regan saying, I just need a few bits and pieces, I think, because I'm the one that'd be cosplaying 5, and my partner's going to cosplay Klaus. Awesome. So many Umbrella Academy. Like, I don't know who I'd do. I'd probably end up doing one of the females, just because of their numbers and stuff. But like, Alison has too many like crop top type things that I wouldn't feel comfortable wearing. Vanya though could be quite fun. But also like I could totally do what I can't remember his name, the number 1. Like, whatever his name is, I can't remember his actual name, but I could totally do that. Just wear a really big greatcoat, would be great. Be really warm. Casually saying the way you all play the Marauders is honestly amazing. Oh, thank you. We just throw it together, honestly. Like, just kind of happy accident, I would say. Genuinely happy accident. Because it was Debbie and I that were really into Marauders. And we brought it to the rest of the group. So it's a bit weird like that. Luke and Alison have been like into Marauders separately. Like Luke used to cosplay Remus back in the day, but like a while before we'd met them. And then we kind of met them and were like, we like Marauders, they are good. And then we tried to figure out Debbie was going to do Remus, but then like the other characters are kind of more fluid. But again, it's a shared fandom that we all have. We don't all share the same fandoms, which is why like you'll see a couple of us in one cosplay, a couple of us in another cosplay together, kind of thing. Because it's like I don't know Wreck-It Ralph at all, for example, but like Sarah's just cosplayed Yash from Wreck-It Ralph. Didn't know who she was, no clue. Just know she looked really good in blue body paint. You know. Luke and I are super into Critical Role, and Debbie's kind of into Critical Role. The rest of them aren't as much. You know, that's also okay. You know, you don't all have to be into the same thing. It's just Marauders happened to be the one thing that actually we were all independently into. We were like, no, we like Marauders. You know, we like Harry Potter world. It's all good, you know. And again, you know, we've had a few changes over time. We have some friends that will join the audience and stuff as well. So we ended up sort of introducing that as like a thing, because for us it was like an in-character panel only works well if you get a lot of questions and relevant questions. And having like a couple of folk, because we didn't have enough room at the front for everybody who wanted to be involved, and a couple of people just wanted to ask a couple of questions in character, and that was it really. So they didn't really want to be answering the questions in character necessarily. So like Peter, for example, Harry was sat in the audience because they felt more comfortable being in the audience, asking a couple of questions as Peter, and we're actually amazing as Peter. You know, genuinely. And then the magic 8-ball happened. Certainly so happened. And like little moments, just like a genius. And even in character, you're sitting there trying not to react to it as you would, rather than your character. The amount of times, honestly, that like I've been so close to giggling in panel because I'm just like laughing at what's going on, and I shouldn't be. But part of the reason Santiago sniffs people is because I was trying to hide my laughter at Luke being Kevin. Because he's really funny as Kevin. So yeah, it's like in character panels are weird but fun. You just need to find like a good balance for them. It's a strange one that again it'll only work at certain cons as well. Like we always used to do it at Alcon because another group, Parlay, who were great back in the day, used to also do in-character panels, so we knew that the audiences at Alcon would understand what it is, because it can be quite difficult. We ended up actually for Sunny last year, or for the first year we did the SunnyCon in-character panel, we actually explained what an in-character panel was beforehand. And we still kind of do it a little bit, but now we kind of tend to have McGonagall introduce the Marauders, for example. So it kind of explains what it is, and you know who all the characters are. Little ways we try and like make it easier on folk, like because if you're coming into something you've never been to it before, you don't want an in-character panel. It's like, what's this? What is this? Why are all these people being idiots on the stage? Oh wait. Regan saying, I'd love to cosplay Luther, number 1, that's his name. But I feel too small, but I do love Tom Hopper though. Like, there's a lot of ways you can bulk yourself out. Look at the big cloak with the big shoulders on it. Like, you can literally put massive shoulder pads in and just carry yourself real tall. And it kind of works. Because I end up doing characters that are very different from me, build-wise. Like, I'm tall, like, I'm 5'8". And yeah, I cosplayed Not the other week, who is a goblin, who is tiny. I also cosplay Vex. There's some really nice shots actually come back from our friend Hattie of Vex and Percy, Luke's Percy. Luke's about 3 inches shorter than I am. If I'm cosplaying a girl, I need to be shorter than him a little bit, really. So I have to like crouch at the knees. It's really good times. I can't wait till we get the vlog edited. Because there's a lot of good moments in making that vlog. So it should be fun. I think you guys will enjoy our Insomnia vlog. Because there's a lot of we took the camera out with us to photo shoots as well. Out in the woods, and there's a lot of get in the tree, get on the ground. No, don't get on the ground like that, get on the ground like that. No, don't sit on that singing nettle. Oh wait. Singing nettles in the bum is not fun. Alicia's saying Sarah's Yes cosplay slayed my existence. Like, she looked amazing as Yes. So good. And she got so many people stopping and like, you know, going, oh my god, I know what that is, you know. So it was honestly so good. Regan's saying, I don't think I'll be able to stop laughing every time Luke mentions the infamous Hogwarts Jaguar. I mean, yeah, same. Like, I'm supposed to be horrified by it, and I'm like, tries to hide his face. There's a reason in the Night Vale panels, Pull the Two Eyes happened, because I had to go out the room because I was giggling too much. Like, it was weird. It was a weird circumstance in that Alison, before that panel, had not been feeling very well at all, to the point where about an hour before the panel, we genuinely were thinking our Cecil would not be able to make the Welcome to Night Vale panel. Which isn't great for a Welcome to Night Vale panel, and that's your main kind of person in the Welcome to Night Vale panel. So we were like trying to figure out like how we could explain it, what we could do, etc., etc. But obviously she didn't end up turning up. She wasn't very well, so you'll notice she was very, very static in her seat that whole panel because she wasn't feeling very well. Because of that, I hadn't really properly like got myself into character kind of thing. I just was like so worried about her and so like, oh god, I really hope she's okay kind of thing. I hadn't properly got into character as like Santiago Creepy Man, and I ended up just giggling at everything. And I was just like, oh, I need to go out the room and properly laugh and get it out of my system and then come back in. So that's what I had to do. So I was just like, oh boy, okay. Out of character things influence in character things sometimes. Regan's saying, carry yourself real tall is actually real small. I mean, like, it depends. Like, it was funny actually when I'm wearing Yasha because she's supposed to be really tall, and really broad, and I'm like, I actually can carry myself at full height for once. Woo. Alicia's saying she was so good. Yep, she was. Casually saying, Yell's Critical Role cosplays literally have me shook constantly. Oh, thank you. You've been very complimentary today. It's very nice. Luke's upgraded Molly Mark is amazing. So good. Like, we worked really hard on the Critical Role stuff, so we're all super happy with the Critical Role cosplays that we've got, because there's a level of sort of doing stuff where you're like, okay, I worked really hard on that. Because there's not, I mean, I'm still kind of working on Yasha because she still needs weathering properly, but she's just, she's a lot of fun to wear. She's a lot of fun to scream at people for. But yeah, at least you're going to have a fun time at SunnyCon if you come to our panels. This is another panel as well. And I'm doing a new character for it, and it's going to be fun. Alicia's saying, Luke's Molly wig is amazing. He literally must have used witchcraft on that. There's no other explanation. He's very good at the wiggies. He's very good at the wiggies. Like, there's a reason we used to send parcels of shame to him with the wiggies. Like, he can just get them to do what he wants them to do. And he works really hard on it. It's not just like, oh, I'll take it out of the bag and shake it and put it on. That's my trick with the wig. Yay. He worked really hard on his Molly wig. But actually, I think he did most of it on Instagram Live, actually, weirdly enough. Because I was learning along with everyone else. Because I was like, how do you boil curl a wig? I don't know. Never done it before. Obviously, I can curl my own hair, or I've plaited my own hair before. That's what it does. But I've never boil curled a wig. There you go. It's to be honest, I love Molly's little jackety thing. I love what he's done with that because he's literally made it out of lots of old cosplays as well as this. And I love the trousers. The trousers are a gift. We literally spent a weekend at his new flat, where he made me a shirt for Vex in literally 30 minutes flat. And then, because I was supposed to be helping him a little bit with the leather trousers, obviously I've sewn leather before, I know roughly how leather works, and I know kind of the stitching and stuff like that for leather. So I like helped him start the leather trousers. But he like patterned it all out. He'd like done it, we put it all together, and it just colours looked amazing. Like, because that was the only thing with, because he'd done some leggings, he'd like painted some leggings up just like a temporary measure, because obviously he knew the trousers would take a little bit time, a little more time than what we had. So he painted like some leggings up, but he was like not happy with the colours because they were too bright compared to like the rest of it's quite muted. But then the colours for the leather trousers were just amazing. And the fact that like he literally sat and hand sewed those leather trousers from scratch. Like, I helped a bit in some of the bits, but like he sat and hand sewed leather trousers, and they look amazing. You know, it's a really impressive cosplay. And that, along with the body paint and everything else, just his Molly cosplay is so good. And that's where I'm always like very impressed with everyone else in the group as well. I'm always like, no, we need to look at this person. They don't work so hard on this. Because like Debbie's sewing skills are always amazing. Alison's armor's always amazing. Like, everyone's got really good talents in the group, and you're always kind of like, look at that cool stuff. So good. Insomnia was literally like the body paint room. mine and Luke's room and Blair's room was the body paint room. Where, because I tend to be up early anyway. And obviously Luke and Sarah were both painting many times over the weekend. So yes, I enjoy a little bit of body paint every now and again. Alicia's like, spoilers please. Think about what panels we did last year, and then look at those ones again. But I'm doing a different character this time. So we might be doing another D&D podcast panel that we might have done last year, but I'm doing a different character. Should be fun. Casually saying, Wigs just hate me, Wigs and I don't get along. Now, see, I used to be like that. I'm still kind of like that for styling wigs at least, but I can wear them for a pretty long period of time now. Like, I used to really struggle with contacts and with wigs. But obviously I can't see. I'm very blind. Glasses. And I used to really struggle with putting contacts in, and then I used to really struggle with getting all this hair under a wig. And then I found French plaits, and they worked really well for me, along with a headband and a couple of wig caps. So for me, that works. And also getting wigs that are a little bit more expensive. So like your Coscraft or your Arda, for example, rather than your eBay ones, because they're designed like a bigger cap. So like to get all this hair under, I've got quite a small head luckily, but to get all this hair under, it takes like a bigger cap really, because otherwise it's just too tight on my head and it really hurts. So for me, like, just spending a little bit more money on wigs tends to work better for me. And again, it's not something that everyone can do, but I reuse my wigs quite a lot between different characters, you'll notice. Because they're a little bit more expensive. But they're not massive. Like, Coscraft wigs are like between like 15 to 25 quid, depending on what wig you're getting and what style you're getting. But like, they start at like 15. Now, you can get eBay wigs for like £5, £10, but they're not going to be great quality. They're going to be quite thin. Coscraft ones are quite thick, and they can be styled relatively easily, which is why Luke always tends to use Coscraft ones like as a base to style from most of the time. I've moved more towards lace front wigs as well recently. Like Yasha's a lace front wig, for example. But I got that from Wiggy's Fashion, I think, but I did spend more money on that because it's a lace front. Lace fronts are more expensive, like 30-40 quid rather than like 15, but they look better. Like for anyone that's got anything that's coming back from the face, like Vex is just a normal Coscraft. She was like 20 quid, I think, and she's just not a lace front at all. But like Yasha is a lace front, but I also don't always glue the lace front. I'm awful. I hate gluing anything to my face. So like with Merle for his beard, for example, I had to put it on a headband and not glue it to my face, and it was really uncomfortable. It'd be hot. So I'm not doing Merle this year. Alicia, I had a theory it was the Adventure Zone because I'm pretty sure Luke mentioned making Magic Brian and maybe I made that up. He didn't make that up. There's an Adventure Zone panel. We're doing some new cosplays for it. So yeah, should be fun. Casually saying I just bought 2 wigs, one for Draco and one for Sirius. Both for about $20. I don't know how much that is in UK money. I'm hoping to get some lace fronts soon, though they look amazing. Like, $20 is about 15 quid. So yeah. Like, generally, like, lace fronts are only kind of useful if you're going to have something with the hair pulled back. So if you're going to have a style with, like, it pulled back, or with, like, ponytail or anything like that, get a lace front. If you're not, just don't bother with the lace front. Like, Bex has literally got a side plait. That's all she's got going on is a side plait. She doesn't really need... Alfie! What are you doing? Sorry, guys. The cat's just pulled up half the carpet outside my room, so I was like, no, stupid cat. Okay. Do you know what days it was at Top Secret? Because I'm doing taco on Sunday. No idea on the days yet, because we've not had a timetable yet. It will probably happen in the next month or so, but we haven't actually had a timetable through yet. We do normally get them through around about this time though, so it shouldn't be too much longer. But yes, we will be doing Adventures and we will be doing Marauders. I think it's just those two. I can't remember now. It was a while since I've split the panels. Can't remember. Joys. But yes, we have a few panels coming for Sunnycam. So big. There's still more sewing to do. I'm not getting on very fast with it today. Too busy talking. Casually saying I have 17 days till my next big con. I have way too much to do. Con crunch. That's why we do streams. It's because normally we're working on stuff towards the next con. But I literally don't have a con now till 20-something of June. So, not, like I said, I've got one new cosplay for it, but it's going to be a really simple kind of closet cosplay. So, it's not going to be difficult to do. Just need to find a wiggy, funnily enough. Talk about wigs. I might see what I've already got in my stash of wigs, though, and see if anything will work for this particular character. Because that's the beauty of doing things like podcasts or things that don't have like a set sort of canon look. You can kind of make it up yourself. So I'm kind of looking to do that, I think, a little bit and just see like what I want to do with it. But like maybe try some different wigs on with like the outfit that I've got and see what will work. Because there's no set thing of this character has this look. Which is quite nice, really. Let's run out my second bit of thread. yeah, I'm not really sure what my next big project's going to be. I need to finish Yasha off, but she's literally just going to be weathering. Need to decide what cosplays I'm actually wearing for SunnyCon, but hopefully the 2 panels that I mentioned will be on different days, so that we can not have to go do a quick change, because that would be a pain. It'd be nice if they're on different days, but then that way it's 2 of my days sorted, and then another cosplay for another day, and then like the casual one for the evening, for one of the evenings. So we'll see, but I'll probably bring Yasha, I would imagine, because I imagine Luke will bring Molly for SunnyCon, because we both work really hard on those and don't want to not wear them, kind of thing. Plus for Sunny, we don't have a table. Obviously, we do have panels, so we kind of don't really have like a set space. We're relatively close to the con, so we can like go back and get changed if needs be. I'm excited though for Sunny, because we've got little mini apartments. So literally, like, we're in 2s in these little apartments nearby. And I'm quite excited because we can cook food at con, not have to survive on takeaway. I mean, the good thing about Newcastle is you do have a lot of good choice for food. So if we want to go out and eat, we can, but equally we can also cook, which is quite nice, because I'm not all about having takeaway 4 nights in a row. Funnily enough, quite like having fresh veg and fresh meat, fresh food in general. But again, there'll be quite a lot of us, so we'll end up splitting up for dinner anyway. We'll end up like we did last year. Like, there was 20 of us last year, because it was like obviously all the bandits, and then a lot of friends were coming as well. So we've got like Bethan, we've got the Ergo lads, we've got Victor, we had so many other people as well. Then we were like, we couldn't all go together to a restaurant because they wouldn't have been able to see us. So we ended up all splitting up for food for different times. And obviously we'd all be doing different things as well. So like we were doing some filming and stuff as well, which meant that like we were doing slightly later ones and that kind of thing. So we all kind of split up a little bit for food, which we'll probably end up doing again this time, because again there's enough places close by that it kind of caters towards everybody's tastes and everybody's budget. But equally, Luke and I have the option of cooking, which is probably going to be what we're going to end up doing if we have energy. Because between us, we end up liking the same type of food. So it's not too bad. Might make it a little bit cheaper this time. Casually saying that's why I love doing Cecil, because I can basically do my own thing while still giving the basic idea and looking and using headcanons. Yeah, exactly why I like all of the podcast type ones. Like Nightville gave me the first taste of it. And then Marauders kind of did as well, because it was just like, well, Sirius technically just has dark wavy hair. Literally, that's all it said, and he's handsome. I could have done anything with that. And I've seen lots of different versions of Sirius. And I've had lots of different versions of Sirius. I had him with straight hair, I've had him with short hair, I've had him with my own hair, I've had him with side shave because that was my own hair. It was literally we were going to the con, and I just had my hair cut, and it was like here-ish, or like maybe there-ish. Obviously it will go wavy if I want it to. And I had a side shave on the side, and Luke was just like, why are you bothering wearing a wig? Because I had dark hair all the time. I was like, I don't know. Why am I bothering wearing a wig? By my own hair. So yeah, my own hair got worn for a couple of serious times. Alicia's saying my taco cosplay is my favourite since you didn't really have a set look. I could do what I want. Exactly. That's exactly why I like so many of these different ones now. That's why I like the Critical Role ones, because there's so little actual canon stuff that like you can have. I mean, again, Critical Role is slightly different, and you do have some artwork actually that is kind of considered canon. There's like there's an intro now and everything as well, so that's kind of considered canon. But to the same token, like if somebody has something different, then you're not going to be like, oh my god, you got something different. Like, as I think the McElroys have said, every taco is a good taco. Every taco is valid. If you choose to do slightly different things with them, that's cool. But it just means you have that choice, which is quite nice sometimes when things like TV shows or like cartoons and stuff like that tend to be like very much like you have to look like this. It can be quite restricting sometimes. Alicia's saying I'm living off of Subway for SunnyCon weekend. I mean, that was basically us for Insomnia because there's no food places around the NEC. I'm not keen on Subway, so I'm like, That's why we ended up bringing pasta with us. We can just cook in the kettle. But it was also like, SunnyCon. To be fair, you do have a lot of like you've got like McDonald's and Burger King and all the big sort of chains that are cheap. You've also got like nice restaurants as well. So you kind of choose a little bit. There was a Nando's around the corner from one of our hotels that we stayed in Newcastle, which was quite handy. All sorts of different ones. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of living off takeaway for 4 days. It's not my favourite thing to do, to be honest. Like, I love a takeaway every once in a while, don't get me wrong, but I am generally not a fan of eating crap for 4 days. Alicia's saying Tesco's over the road. Yep. That Tesco's very good for SunnyCon. It's a lot of meal deals that get bought there. Gotta love a meal deal for a con, because then you can just bring a sandwich in, you've got a sandwich, a drink, and a packet of crisps or whatever for like £3. And that's one of our favourite ways to do con lunch. Ow, 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 that'll be my finger. Yeah, quite often we'll nip across the road at SunnyCon, sit on there's a little wall outside Tesco. We'll just sit on the steps outside Tesco and eat our lunch. Because usually it's nice weather as well at Sunny. It's usually very sunny at Sunny. Nearly finished sewing this. It's taking me forever today. The fan stall there is a lifesaver. Oh my god, yes it is. I need to get a fan actually, that's a good point. I need to remember to get a fan. I'm going to go and do a little search for a fan now. I think what to put fan. That's not what's going to give me electric fans. Oh, it's still going to give me electric fans. Folding fan, there we go. Now it's trying to find a fan that will match all my characters. Because I'm the worst. with some really pretty silk folding fans. Pretty. There's a peacock one, oh no. Oh, it's just just plain colours. I'm so excited. We'll leave that open. That way I'll go back and do it afterwards. Casually saying, really random off topic, but yeah, do you have any tips for creating a D&D character? I am still very new to D&D. Literally, I'm in my first campaign. Been in my first campaign for about 3 months with Luke and with a group of folk. Basically, I went into it of, okay, obviously I know I can do in-character stuff, and I know I can do, I've played obviously enough RPG type games, so I've played things like Dragon Age, World of Warcraft, that kind of stuff, so I know enough about like different races and stuff that I was like, okay, I know what type I like. I don't like ever playing fighter. Bores me. Really bores me. Like a frontline fighter type. Yeah, not my type. So I knew I wouldn't be like a fighter or like a monk or anything like that. It's like super like up close and personal. I tend to do more like magic users that are further back, a little bit squishy, but like can do both defense and attack. I like to sort of do that type of character, generally in RPG type stuff. So when I looked at it and went, so cleric then, because our party needed a cleric anyway. Look at what your party needs as well. So your party may need a tank, or your party may need a cleric, and that tends to be how I tend to go into it, because I'm like, I don't have a particular affinity to a certain character yet. And so I was like, okay, our party happened to need a cleric because we needed a healer. And I was like, I guess I'll do healing. But also our party's full of magic users. So I was a little bit like, need to be a little bit more offensive rather than defensive. So I've kind of built a character that's quite high on strength, and quite high in terms of the offensive stuff that she has. So like I prep a lot of the spells. Obviously I prep all the healing spells. I'll also prep a lot of the spells where it's offensive stuff. So we use things like Sacred Flame as a cantrip, or I'll use things like Guiding Bolt, first level, for example. And certain spells that I'll use because they're more offensive, and for our party it works quite well. So I'd probably say like go off what your party's already consists of. So if you've got like a rogue, you've got because generally you need like quite a balanced party to be able to get through stuff. Weirdly enough, our party desperately needed a healer, but also desperately needed a tank. So Luke changed to paladin to be more kind of tanky, but also he's got a little bit of heal. So me and him have got very similar characters. Because I've got a cleric that's like a little bit healy, a little bit offensive, and he's got like a paladin that's kind of a tank, but also has a little bit of heal. So we both kind of went for a similar thing. We've also then got a rogue in the party. We've got a warlock, and we've got what else we got? Oh, we've got a druid as well. So we have quite a lot of kind of squishy character. The warlock and the druid especially, well, the druid depending on his form, but the warlock especially is very squishy. So for us, it's like we kind of needed a tank, because like Luke changed from, I think he was going to be a wizard originally, and they changed to paladin because he was like, we need something more tanky. Our rogue likes to go and run into all the things and not be sneaky, and he's very squishy, so he should not be doing this. So he needs to have all the heals. But yeah, I'm still very new to it. I'm very new to D&D. I've just listened to a lot of stuff now, so Adventure Zone Critical Role, that made me kind of go, actually I want to play. And it was our friend Callie, who is very good at building a world, and she literally runs LARPs. So when she said she was doing a campaign, I was like, I want in. You know, so it was a kind of a little bit of a combo of both, really. But she's a very good DM, and she helped us out a lot as well with like character creation and stuff as well. So your DM should be able to help out quite a bit as well. Personally, I really love my cleric. I'm just like, I love her so much. Don't really have a backup character. Saying this playing D&D tomorrow, and I'm like, oh god, please don't kill my character. There's like, look at like what kind of races and stuff, and look at what like what class you want really. It's kind of like, look at the class first is kind of what I'd say, and go from there. Because you'll get an idea together of like what you want in your head for what you want your character to be. Build them with flaws in as well. Like, don't build like your Mary Sue, just going back to RPG terms because we used to hate Mary Sues. Build them with flaws in because it's more interesting, but don't have them to like super heavy backstory type one. But I built mine from class first, then race, and then looked into everything else. But I've gone for a variant human cleric because I could get extra feet and extra language if I did variant human, which for my character, she's come from like a temple, so I wanted like the more kind of learning type stuff. So it was like, it fitted the character quite well, and also the world that Kelly's built is very religion heavy, so I think all of our characters have got some kind of religion to them. So I just kind of went with the religion that would be most fitting to the character, if that makes sense. And having a cleric makes a lot of sense in terms of she's quite God-fearing. But yeah, it's a good time. Like, I love. Hello, Best Bander's back. He's hungry again. He still says, "I'm still hungry. He never fed me." Okay. I have finished sewing the thing. Doing as so. Let's see what chat says. Lee's here. Hello, can confirm it was the con Wi-Fi. You were confusing me so much, Lee. I was just like, it's working. Alicia's on. I'm really confused. Alicia's saying, I got one that matches my Itter bag, so I'm sorted for one of the days. Awesome. Lee's saying, so a paladin, I'm about to start a blind monk. Oh, that'd be fun. May suggest heroes and half-wits. Who needs a backup if you don't die? I mean, I'm the healer, so then I'll die. Touch wood. Casually, thank you. So should I make a character with a strength and with a flaw? Like, it depends on. I tend to start from class and then race and then build more into the personality. So I started with, okay, I want to do a cleric because that's the type of RPG type stuff that I enjoy doing. So I'll do a cleric. We need a healer anyway as part of the party. Then I was like, I'll go for a variant human because I can get extra feet, I can get language. And then I went for, okay, so she's growing up in this. This is where I'm like, let's make sure Luke's not listening. So she's growing up in this world where she's literally in a temple. She's needs a reason to leave home, essentially. So I kind of had her brother get killed by a half-orc. And in this world in particular that Kelly's built, anything that's not human is quite unusual. So that's why I was like, let's do a human, because there won't be many humans in our party, and kind of needs to be more humans. But basically, her brother got killed by a half-orc, so she's kind of on a vengeance mission, and she's going to be a little bit racist or anything that's a half-orc. Yeah, because she's not going to like them because of that. Also, I made her, there's other bits of backstory that means she doesn't like water. It's real fun when you have to go through a pool of water because she rogue jumped into it. It's actually really fun to play out. I always like having characters with flaws that like aren't always immediately obvious. So Sorsha is a little bit racist. She doesn't like water. There's reasons behind that. But essentially it's like I kind of just built her from race and class first, and then kind of went from there. Like I said, I'm still new to this, but I've done RP stuff for it a long time. Debbie and I did it for a good 10, 15 years. And that's how I always built character from there. Was always I want to build something with flaws in. So like Sirius is he should be a Mary Sue because he should be like a perfect character because he's handsome and he's clever and he doesn't have to try and all that kind of stuff. So I've just made him really vain and I've just made him really stupid. Like he might be clever in exams, but he's really stupid. Like really stupid. And again, partly that's because I can't always hear very well in panels. Unless I'm actually with you asking you the question, which is why I tend to run around the panel room as well. I quite often miss what the actual question is, and only kind of get it from context from other people. So I've kind of made that into stupidity for my character because of my actual I can't hear what you're saying. So things like that, where you can put flaws into something, and that's kind of, for me, it's always more interesting. Having him be picked on by his family is more interesting to me than having him not have Narcissa pick on him. Narcissa would, like, she totally would. But that's where we have the benefit of, obviously, we're all really good friends, and I know whatever Sarah says to me as Narcissa is not Sarah saying it, it's Narcissa saying it, and Narcissa is horrible at times. But I've learned that much from it to go, no, I enjoy having a character with a flaw. Pick on him for his family, or pick on him for, it's more fun to play because then you can just go, oh no, I don't like that. That's more fun than just your character liking everything. If they don't, she's a little bit sheltered as well as Sorcia, so she's a little bit naive. She's always lived in a temple, like she ain't gonna like camping, camping on a road. She ain't gonna like that. She's all right with it. She's not too bad, but I could have played that up more if that was the thing. Lee's, oh yeah, off to train, no problem. See you in a bit, Lee. I'm probably gonna go fairly soon, to be honest. I've done 2.5 hours on my own after the actual stream started working, so that's good. Because obviously they're a little bit beforehand as well, but that was when the stream actually decided it wanted to work. So yeah, I've sewn my little boy, and all I have to do is basically punch some holes in him and thread some stuff through. And then we have a dice bag. So yay for dice bags. We get there eventually. I've also got to go to. When you remember as well, you've got like life admin things to do. I've just seen a letter on the desk from Specsavers. I need to go and book in for my eye test and my contact lens check because it's been 2 years apparently. Let's hope that I don't have to spend loads of money on new pair of glasses. That'd be nice. Yep, cool. Okie doke. So yeah, have fun with creating a character. Just look at your classes first. Genuinely the easiest way of doing it. Look at your classes first. Decide what kind of class you want to play. So whether you want to play like a paladin, whether you want to play like a little rogue, a little sneaky. So Debbie always likes a rogue. Sarah tends to like more of the fighters. Alison also likes more of the fighters, or sometimes a magic user here and there. Blair likes just being like a half-elf pretty boy. Like we all have a definite like type of character. I've not really got a type of character for D&D yet, but obviously I have a type of character for cosplay. Like at the moment, my type of character is strong warrior woman. Basically all my characters right now, apart from Caleb, who is the fire wizard, little hobo wizard boy. But yeah, other than that, like the rest of them are all very, very similar for me. Weirdly enough, yeah, because I mean, again, I would stray away from, like, I want to play a female character in D&D because I don't feel like there's enough of them. Like, all the rest of the guys that I play with are all guys, and they all play male characters. So for me, it's like, no, I want to play women. I want to play a female character. You know, and she's going to be a bit weird and a bit racist and a bit flawed, but I like that, you know. But yeah, just have a look through the different races. Start from there, because like I think we're gonna do Thunder are gonna end up doing a campaign because Sarah's gonna DM for us, and I think when we do it, I think I probably will go for a paladin. Kind of had a half-what paladin in my brain for a little while now, so that might be a way of going forward for that one. Because again, it's kind of can be tanky if needed, and we kind of need a tank in the group because we don't really have one. I think at the moment we've got Debbie as a rogue. I think Blair was saying a ranger possibly. So again, distance. We kind of need a tank to take the hits, which is probably either going to be a barbarian or a paladin or a fighter of some description. But I don't really want to do a pure fighter because I think I'd find that boring. Just I hit them with my axe. Again. I quite like some of the magic stuff actually. Now I've kind of got my head around how to use it. Casually saying I'm going to definitely do it today, thank you. No problem. Like, at least the classes and stuff were easy enough to find online. I would recommend though, if you are going to get into D&D properly, and end up sort of doing it more and more. She says, looking under the desk, because it's right under here. Get yourself a little player's handbook. Because it has literally like all the bits and bobs in it. I quite like having a physical book because it means I can go and look up stuff quite easily. But obviously you can get it online as well. You don't have to buy a book. I just quite like having it. It's quite nice. Luke and I'll end up like doing stuff together at the weekend or whatever, and we'll end up like just sitting there flicking through the book, going like, "Oh, this we could do this, or we could do this, so this is another spell we might get later on." Or excuse me. So yeah, I quite like having a physical book, but you definitely don't need to have it. But yeah, start with class. Look at races as well, and go from, like, get a picture in your head of what your character's going to be like, and kind of go from there. I'm trying to think of the way I used to always create characters for other stuff. I think I always used to go with the same thing of like skill kind of first, like what skills do they have? Because whatever skill they have, like you're not going to get a ranger who, for example, who is grown up in a city. You're going to get a ranger that's going to grown up in the woods, or a ranger that's grown up like in mountains or something like that. You know, you're not going to get a ranger in the city. That's not going to be your backstory at all. You could have like a city elf, for example, but it will probably be more likely to be again from the woods or something. You know, so you've got kind of different races that kind of lend themselves to different things as well. I very much wanted her to be like a very. Kelly had written like 6 different backgrounds you could essentially have. You could pick one of the backgrounds. And I picked like acolyte. So essentially she's just grown up in a temple, lived there most of her life. She's quite sheltered, quite naive, because she would be. She's not travelled. She doesn't know about different cities. She doesn't know that she's read about them. She's book smart. Doesn't mean that she's like street smart at all. Which is quite fun to play with. Because again, I've had like opposite characters as well, where I've had like Sirius is the complete opposite. So you know he's not book smart, but he's very street smart. So I find it quite fun just to kind of build a character from that and kind of think more about the backstory. Like think about them. I don't know, when you commute to school or to work or whatever, I end up sitting there and going, oh, I could do this, oh, I could do that. I'm creating a character at the moment for Kelly's LARP NPC, and I was thinking, oh, I could do this, and I was literally on the bus to work, and I was typing on my phone, going, oh, I've got this idea for them, I've got this idea for them. As it kind of just started from, it's like a very, very basic description, but I've got like several different ideas now actually to like write up and send across to Kelly, but I also know she's away a lot this weekend, so I don't have to do it right now. But yeah, like the background documents that we got from the DM as well about the world, because she just like kind of custom built her own world. And it's quite religion heavy. So it's like, well, hang on a second, what if I build around this? And like the type of cleric that I've got is a Tempest cleric. So it's all sort of seas and storms and stuff like that. I thought, well, how would this tie in with the background? So that's why I started at race, or at class, sorry. Because to me it was like, well, there's so many different types of cleric, for example. You can go, well, I've got 4 different types of cleric. And I could have gone for like knowledge cleric, for example, because she would have just sat there and learned everything. But I thought, you know what, actually, this is more interesting. It's more interesting spells, this is more interesting, like, reason for her to do this. So, that's why I gone for that. But, yeah, give it a go. See how you get on. And if you need help or anything, give us a shout, because we'll try. Either me or the others. Sarah's the most experienced at D&D. Debbie's pretty experienced as well. I'm sadly one of the newbies. But I've done a fair bit of character stuff at least, so at least that side of it I can help with. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there today because I've finished sewing my little patchy boy. To punch him and then like put holes in and then put the thread around, but it's not urgent, so I'm going to put it away. I'm going to make some dinner because I'm hungry. It's 6 o'clock. And the cat's going to be hungry as well, so we keep coming in and rubbing around and being like, hello, I'm the cat. But yes, I will see you guys very soon. Hopefully we'll have a video for you on Wednesday. If not, I will probably see you next Sunday, more than likely. See you later, guys. Have a good weekend.